I said bye to the Jag, said hi to the Porsche. Now I ride through the hood, the way from they porch. Been a double XL, been inside the sauce. Been on trial for murder, child support court. Me inside the booth, it's like Jordan on the court. Gatorade in me, wearing Hanes under shorts. Flaming with a torch, it's all on sight.
All right, what's going on, y'all? This Noble Hands podcast, man. We got Steph, and we got Rob in the building, man. Season 1, episode 4. Today we're going to talk about a few things. Definitely COVID-19 or Corona or whatever the case may be, how it affected black people in our community, how it affected our culture. We're going to talk about the PPP loan and all that, and definitely motherfucking PUA. You know what I mean? We definitely want to touch on some of them topics in the vaccine. We definitely want to talk about some of them things for, the people out there. First and foremost, I wanted to touch on, before we dig into the whole COVID thing, if it's real, if it's fake, we definitely know some people are being affected from it. Some people are dying and things like that. I think that, from my personal experience and my personal understanding, because I definitely believe it's some sort of agenda. Anything that's going on with Americans is always geared around money. From slavery to mass incarceration, politics, it's always, something to do with money. They make so much money off these vaccines that people are totally fucking unaware of, that they would love to be able to give you a fucking booster shot every other week. Mm-hmm. And people are just totally naive to that. I look at the way that these pharmaceutical companies, the influence they have on the media and social media, just look at how when somebody posts something with the word COVID in it, how this big thing come up.
Yeah.
How the fuck can y'all do that? But y'all can't see when somebody posting a bomb threat. Y'all can't see when somebody posting something bad about another race. But if you say something about COVID, vaccine, or you say the word tranny, that shit is like red flag. Boom. Mm-hmm. Like, we was on a plane to go to Boots Fight in Vegas. Jew got on live, and I was like, he said something. We out here, this, and that. I was like, yeah, the tranny is something. Yo, my whole Instagram went poof, black. I think they text my phone like, if you do it again, we go. I was like, oh my fucking God. I was just playing on Jew live. But I was just like, anytime, it make me like scared to say certain things. Controlled. Right, it's all controlled. Yeah. And the thing with the Corona, I was saying, look at the way people are acting with this PUA. You know what I mean? This is modern day reparations for people. This is showing you what, if you gave these people $250,000, what they'd do with it. They'd turn it right back over into.
Gotta be financial literacy first.
Right, absolutely. That's what we want to touch on too. How y'all feel though? How do y'all feel people made out with the PUA? How do you think that? How do y'all think that? That affected us.
It was abrupt. It wasn't expected. So at first people were probably like shocked, like, oh damn, they really doing this. So at first you didn't really know.
The first person I seen, she slid down the timeline. She's like, yo, you trying to make $800 a week? DM me. I was like, oh damn, they hijacked her page too. But she from Ashmead Street, and I'm like,
you was just.
She was like, I'm dead serious. She kept posting like, yo, it's me, y'all. If y'all trying to make $800 a week, DM me. I'll hook you up. I'm like, man, she on some bullshit. Then like 2 weeks later, a nigga give me the play like, yo, you want to make $800 a week? I'm like, $800 a week doing what?
Yeah, I think when it first happened, because like nobody really knew. Like I remember at my job, when it first happened, like, we see you in 2 weeks. We see you in 2 weeks. We didn't know that it was going to be an ongoing situation. So when it started happening, like, oh, this is going to be a year-long thing or a couple of months thing. So that's when it start getting real. So when people start getting the PUA, all that stuff, I don't think that nobody planned ahead. Like, oh, you know what? They're giving me an extra $6 a week. I can do whatever. People were just doing stuff instantly on the spur of the moment until they realized, like, oh, this could be really income, or I can do this and that, or I can really, attack some goals and chop some stuff down. So I think by the time people realized what they could have did with that money, half of it was already gone.
Yeah.
So it was like, if you don't know, if you're not used to touching money, you're going to blow it on stuff that you.
This money is still soon part ways.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you're gonna do that. So I feel like part of it was, then the demographic that got that money. It wasn't, you didn't give it to the essential workers. You didn't give it to the nurses. You didn't give it to people who kind of understand money. You gave it to the people who lost their money that worked there.
Society's trash. Sorry, y'all. Sorry,
that worked at, like, the movie theaters and fast food and the malls and stuff.
And the niggas that sell rocks.
Yeah, like, so you put it in the hands of people who,
and the break dancers
who don't understand
and the beatboxers
money.
The fuck they go.
So that's why it happened that way. But I do feel like it was kind of like I don't think it was intentionally an experiment, but once they saw it, they was like, oh, this is
this is how we're gonna stimulate the economy.
Yeah,
because ignorance is of a bliss, and black people spend the most money in America.
The dollar,
and they make the least.
the shortest in the black community.
Yeah, the shortest. I forgot how many minutes.
Like, yeah.
Powernomics. I've read that book years ago.
And that's the scary part about it.
I'm never gonna forget. I'm not a vicious go to sex type bull. If I go, I go. It is what it is. It's just that's nothing.
Sex is disgusting.
Yeah, but I remember that line. And
so
I
disgusting.
Said, whoa.
Sex, all the high-end designer
I thought they was giving away shit. I'm like, oh shit, they must be giving away like TVs or something. And they was like, no, PUA. I'm like, what? That's because I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what is PUA? They're like, man, I was like, is that the shit the girl talking about $300 a week? I was like, oh, okay. And just look at it now. You know what I mean? You go on sex now, it's not none of that.
Because I look at we old school. The whole department store experience. You go in, for the the salesperson to be more intimate one-on-one and have you having a good shopping experience. During the whole PUA time, there was no good salesman experiences. They was just like, this the McQueens, get them. These the Balenciagas,
what size
get them.
you need?
Right? They just knew you came in, like you want these, and it's just like what the hell? But I mean, this, like I said, the demographic that was, given that large sum of money was not used to it. It's things, they got the things that they thought that they wanted, and
I also believe that it definitely was instrumental to our people because it made so many people lazy now. So many people feel obligated that they're supposed to get a certain amount of money a week for doing absolutely nothing.
It made everybody who wasn't scammers think they were scammers.
Yeah, because that really wasn't a scam. That was like a lick. That shit never gonna happen again.
Yeah, but you gotta think though, right? With the whole pandemic, when a pandemic hit, I was locked up. And I knew it was something serious because I seen a lieutenant come on the block and say, everybody, for lack of better words, with bullshit cases is getting released. And it was like, I never heard or like this, like some movie stuff. They literally let people with like minor crimes out of jail.
Right.
Like he was fighting domestics, petty drug. They let them out. I'm talking about they really
Just
let these dudes out.
Right.
And I was scared because I'm like, damn, this stuff is real.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a hoax. Like people are dying. People like, that's why I don't touch on that COVID stuff saying it's fake because
it's a real sick.
Oh, it's definitely real.
You know what I'm saying? Like when people say, oh, man, I don't even touch on it because almost 1 million people died in the US over that. And people have lost their families. So I'm like, damn.
But how many died of the flu? Do you know that?
I don't know. But I'm saying this though, right?
Google it.
No, but hear me out.
Over 1 million.
Right, but hear me out though, right? No one living in this lifetime that's living on Earth ever experienced the pandemic. No one living on this earth right now ever experienced the pandemic when the whole world shut down.
It was actually a lady who made it through the Spanish flu. That was
she was living
and died. Ironically,
but look what happened.
Coronavirus.
A pandemic hit. They just gave money to people. They gave my homie 12,000, 13,000 up front. Here, this is yours, and we're gonna give you weekly money.
Right.
That's unbelievable. Then when that ran out, they say, guess what we got for y'all now? We got some PPP stuff.
Yeah, if you're a business owner, we got some money for you.
Because everybody was affected differently. It was the workers that was affected worse than it was the owners that was affected.
How somebody not going to mess that money up? You 19, 20.
Right here? Okay.
You 19, 20, 21, and somebody come to you like, yo, I'm going to do your PUA joint for you. Just give me like $5,000.
I feel like our culture, right? Our culture is always depicted as weak on television and on shows. We always depicted as thieves, crazy, rapists, murderers. We very rarely, no, just realistically, we always depicted it. We very rarely we get a hero.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just think about how they always say Denzel had to go crooked before he took it. Denzel's an awesome actor.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite by far. Will, cool, but Denzel by far. He had his he done amazing things, but then when he was depicted as a crooked cop and a murderer,
that's when he won his award.
That's when he won his award. Now, just think about the depiction. Because think about your favorite movies in your head. Because we from the streets. So think about your top 5 favorite movies. You're going to think about Juice, Friday, King of New York, Menace to Society. You're going to think about shit like that. You ain't going to think about, you know what I mean? Just realistically speaking, we're always depicted as criminals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, you see some of these memes about Mansa Musa and him being a billionaire, you know, how people measured his wealth and all like that. And the things that strip from our history and whatever the case may be. I think that with PPP and PUA, man, it enhanced the goofy shit.
It did.
I pulled up on a block. Boom. you know, y'all parking lot, the first parking lot. Boom. You know, she from my block. It was dudes out there. I'm talking about, man, this dice game was massive. You know what I mean? You know, the dice game's always in the parking lot. I seen niggas that didn't own shit, that only own one pair of sneaks, calling bets. Bet 400. I'm like,
when did this happen?
This was at the height of PUA.
Exactly.
So I'm like, how can he do that?
It changed.
How can he bet 400 on a number?
It
He's
changed
homeless.
power a little bit.
Right.
It was fake power. It was like temporary power or what it was. But I also want to look at the fact that you kept on saying like the black people.
Right.
We only what like 18, 20% of the population.
Not that much. I think it's 14 or 15%.
So when a lot of people always want to bring up what we did with PUA, what we did with PPP.
Right, correct.
Everybody did it.
Everybody. Yeah, for sure. We just know because this is what we see.
Exactly.
Black Instagram and white Instagram, two different things.
And with it being a larger Caucasian population.
They probably even did it worse.
They did it way worse. And it's actually more poor white people
than it is poor black people. Because it's more white people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's just that we are visually able to see the people that surround us, you know, neglect that money. And then too, we also look at them like no matter if you poor, white or not, it's the privilege to it. Like so you can be poor, you still gotta come up. You can still go to get a job easily after you fuck all your money up. We ain't got that same privilege after we fuck our money up to go get a job. So I kind of feel like, yeah, it happened that way for everybody, but you was given you was given a large sum of money, you should have thought, damn, let me do something with this. Let me take care of some business.
Why didn't people continue to hustle? That's what all the people that sold plates, all the people that sold drugs, why didn't you just enhance your hustle?
Not to go off the subject, right? But to stay on the subject, you said white Instagram, black Instagram, whatever, right?
Yeah, it's two different Instagrams.
Right, no
is.
doubt. And you were saying how it was more white people, they probably did mess the money up.
Yeah, they fucked it up.
A 20-year-old black dude, right?
He's
in the urban area that got some PUA money, he probably bought 2-3 pair of McQueens. What you think the white boy bought that was 20? If you had to guess though, like
Vans.
He bought some Vans, but you know what he probably did? Do some wild shit. He probably bought the Alexis Texas blow up doll, some crazy shit that he never could afford.
Hey James, can you please answer this one question, James? What did they buy, James?
What did the white people buy with the PUA money? All right.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. I bet it's not. But listen. Oh, come on. That's not ignorant because that guitar is still worth money.
We back recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
it's still worth some bread. You can get some Dick McQueen's on a guitar. You can get some money for a guitar.
And it's not just about the money for the guitar, but that's a skill of his.
Right, he invested in himself.
Yeah. But we don't. But it's all about education. It all comes with the financial literacy. And it's not just the financial part about it, but it's just like another thing too. When we say generational wealth. Generational wealth comes with sacrifice. And I feel like a lot of us right now that keep on saying we creating generational wealth, you're not really, you still splurging. You still doing what you want to do. Yeah, you kind of putting your family up. Generational wealth is thinking 3 generations ahead. That means not just your children, or your grandchildren, but your great-grand's going to be able to, you know, survive off of it. But I feel like when we soldiers, or we break and curse A, B, and C, it takes a lot of sacrifice. You might not be able to, you're not going to see the outcome of it. Like what you're doing right now is you're not going to be able to experience your sacrifice. It's for somebody else in the future. Right, and I don't think we totally grasp that part of the sacrifice of it when we say, break generational curses and creating generational wealth. Like we're probably starting a foundation or a new foundation.
Yeah, by leaving homes and things like that.
Yeah, so it's like, but you know, I think we gotta really understand the sacrifice part about it because we're not really sacrificing.
I think that another thing PUA did was it fucked up so much shit with our culture. Just what you know how you think got things like StockX and GOAT and things like that. The resale of these sneakers, that shit really bothered me.
Inflation, everything went up.
Yeah, but no, inflation is just, you know, the way of the dollar. But no, if you buy a pair of sneakers for $200 and then you resell them on StockX for $600, that makes me mad. Seriously. These Rolex produce a certain amount of watches a year, right? I've been trying to find. Right, I just was in Denver last weekend. I've been trying to find a scheduler. I always travel. It won't make it to Instagram. I'm out. Every city I go to, if I leave the country, whatever the case may be, I go to a Rolex store, a certified Rolex dealership. I'm Oyster Still 42mm scheduler. Let me get that. If you don't have that, let me just get the date. We've been sold out for several months. It's a 2-year wait. And then when you see people with these South Street rollies on, I'm not hating on nobody. No disrespect if you got a South Street watch or Jeweler's Row watch. You know, if it's a replica, if it's real diamonds and a fake watch, no disrespect. You bust your shit down, do as you must. I'm from a different era. I like clean shit. I like shit that's worth something.
Yeah, that's
if it's a rollie, it has to be a Rolex diamonds in the dial and in the bezel, not on the band. We're not going to get carried away. It's hard. Because I might want to watch that cost from Rolex $15,000, but now all the jewelers are trying to sell them for $25,000 after they done tainted them, and after they done put they little shit twist on it, and it just make it hard. And
depreciate
PUA
the value.
Enhance that.
Yeah.
Now, because like I said yesterday, people have Rolexes that don't own cars. People have Rolexes with a 580 credit score. That's dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You can't even afford it, bro.
Rolex and certain different brands with signs of wealth, and you know,
Right.
even with Rolex, they're upping their price on their stuff, and you know. But it's also gaining value in the future. It's an asset.
Right.
Like same thing with Chanel bags. Chanel's up in their price.
Right.
Certain things are up in their price, but if you are purchasing
From our culture, though, our culture is making this shit boom.
we don't understand the power behind it. All it takes is one collective move together at one time on anything.
That's what this podcast is for, stuff. I know we going to stray away and talk shit and do a lot of things, but this podcast solely was for me to try to help people. Yesterday, I was talking about solutions with the people, and that's what I'm like, damn, how can we get people to be like, all right, I like that. That makes sense. Let's do that. Let's not go to the Chinese store. Let's go to the supermarket. Let's not go to the Chinese nullery. Let's let my homegirl do it. You know what I mean? Because my whole thing is that it all starts with economics. It all starts with finances.
Yeah.
That's the way this company moves. It's all one big financial institution. The bank is a financial institution. The state correctional institutions, these jails, they financial institutions. Everything, the churches, these mega churches, they nonprofit organizations, 501(c)(3)s, but they're financial institutions. They're funded by the banks. This is why these mega churches and black churches don't speak out against these crimes.
It won't make the money.
It won't make that money.
Yeah.
And the government be like, oh, you ain't like that white cop killing that black man? We're going to take all this
same
from
thing
you.
in productive communities. When you go to like the little small Russian neighborhoods, like if anybody ever noticed at the Northeast, you see these big, huge neighborhoods. And when you go like on Google to buy a house, you're like, why no house is never showing up in the Northeast? But they're not selling their houses. They are selling their houses. They selling their houses privately amongst each other.
Right,
You can't get into it. But like those communities, they all have a hospital. They have a bank. They have a school. Like it's certain
markets,
things that you have to have for a community, and
to
we
flourish.
don't have
We
all
don't have it.
three or four.
We got one bank, one black bank. It's on Broad and Cecil B. Moore.
Yeah, that's United Bank.
Right. It was another one. They closed that down, if I'm mistaken. It was one at Wadsworth. They had closed it down. It's another one downtown.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, I don't know right offhand if we own any supermarkets. I know goddamn well we probably don't have no schools. But this is important. I think the schools and banks and hospitals and things are important because we need to know what we pumping into our kids. We turning our kids over into other ethnicities, strangers, and expecting them to be fucking rocket scientists.
Yeah, the main reason why a lot of black women who are pregnant are dying during pregnancy because they don't
any other ethnicity.
Yeah, they don't believe when they say they're in pain but it's also believed that black women can endure more pain. And it's been scientific studies that show like a black woman can take more pain during, labor than another race. So when we say, oh, this don't feel right, oh, she cool, she's want the medicine, or she just being picky, or she being it's so many different layers of the reasons why we're treated that way, or she's got an attitude, or she just want things her way, she's being catty, or it's the first time she's been waited on hand and foot in her life. And it's like
I don't like that. Like when I remember we was somewhere, I can't recollect, but I know this white woman was like, well, what's the occasion? And I was like, bitch, we got money. Fuck is wrong with you? Ain't no occasion. It don't have to be no birthday party because we here. Fuck is wrong with you? We do this shit all the time. Don't get it fucked up. She was like, because I was so angry. I'm like, this ain't nothing. This restaurant ain't shit.
But then the reverse of it too, sometimes we can't be on edge and have that assumption, because sometimes when we in these nice restaurants and we're just there because it's a Tuesday, sometimes they there because they are celebrating something important.
Right.
So it's the roles is kind of like changing. Like I remember, I travel once a month too. I'm always somewhere too.
You be having the best fucking traveling advice. Like I traveled to Jamaica for $13 and I stayed at an Airbnb for $14.
I'm frugal.
You gotta follow her page.
I'm gonna find some deals and all that stuff like that. But I am like I'm gonna find a deal. But I feel like everything, a lot of stuff is changing with sometimes with the PUA and all that stuff. The lifestyles are changing. So sometimes the cameras that we think are trying to be like mean and rude, because they don't understand. They don't get it neither. They're living check to check too. So when they be seeing somebody else do it, we're out celebrating 50th birthday. Or y'all out here doing the same thing too. It's not to be diminishing of our celebrations. Because they thinking like, I can't come here every week or do whatever. I'm here for a reason. She got to be here for a reason too. So it's like, sometimes you got to just look at it from a different, perspective.
From a different scope, yeah.
But yeah, like PUA and the PPP loans and all that stuff like that, I feel like.
Yeah, they put people names, the PPP. When they put them names up there, that was like a thing. Like, yo, you could see who got it.
I didn't judge anybody who did it.
Oh no, fuck it.
If it was available, you think you could do it?
I wish I could have got it. I was like,
I was scared.
Man. The dudes that got it at my job, whoever look at this, I'm not jealous. I wish I would have got that shit with y'all.
I'm judging the people who got it.
That didn't do nothing with it.
That's different. But I'm not. The opportunity presented itself, and you took their chance. Go ahead, because you better. I didn't do it. I'm beating myself in the head for it, but I didn't do it. We don't know what will come from it.
Later on down the line.
But as for right
now, yeah, they rolling.
Yeah, I don't think. Honestly, don't think nothing's coming from it.
Yeah, I don't think it. Too many people did it. They would break the system.
You can't put everybody in jail.
Yo, when it was presented to me, I'm still on federal supervision. When it was presented to me, I'm like, yeah, just my luck. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's on federal supervision. Lock his ass up. But when I seen him do like, yo, I just got 40 and it's forgiven. I ain't gotta give it back. I'm like,
what?
Like you said,
I know he don't know what to do with the 40.
$30,000 or $40,000. We saw certain people pop up on Instagram who got locked up that took $1.5 million.
Like being super greedy. Yeah. But
you take a little 20 foot. Come on, man.
You know what?
When that list came out, all you had to do was type the zip code in, and 3,000 people in every zip code did it.
You can't do it, and we run into an issue right now with people, working places because so they locked everybody up. Who you need the workers.
Yeah, not the straight, but how y'all feel about that though? Everybody, the propaganda that's being pushed. Oh, everybody got to get a real estate. Everybody got to have their own business, and
everybody not meant to be business owners.
Everybody, I always say that.
There's nothing wrong.
Even not to control. Even when you own a business, you still got to work.
You still got to work.
You still got to get up. Extra
harder.
Right.
But I feel like everybody don't have the customer service to run certain businesses. I'm sick and tired. My fantasy right now as a woman is to be able to get my hair done, my nails done, my lashes done, and my wax done in one day. Because guess what? If I make that appointment, somebody going, hey, boo, I got to cancel.
Why don't you open up a shop that just do all that shit?
I mean, that would make sense too. But guess what? I know I'm not good at running businesses. So I would never take on that responsibility of running something. If I can invest in it, sure. But me saying, Steph gonna open up a whole salon. No, that's not me.
Beauty bar.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not for me. I can't do a boutique because I can't push nothing. That's not for me. I'm not a seller. I'm not promoting nothing. Now, can I do the behind the stage stuff? Yeah, I can do all that. But as far as just being like, just doing it because the opportunity is there, if my heart not in it, I'm not going to do it.
So you don't agree with that statement when people be like, if you a hustler, you can sell anything and do anything now?
I feel like sometimes it's different ways to hustle. You don't always have to sell something. You can invest in it. You can help maintain it. You can help promote it. You can help market it. It don't always have to be, cash for this, for that, for that. It can be the long term of it or whatever, or like supporting it. The hustle is the hustle, no matter how you do it. But I don't like that. Get an LLC and then what?
Right.
Or buy this house.
And now let's go back to financial literacy. I also want people to know that when y'all hear that shit, get an LLC. I think it's essential, especially for people like me and him, to always have an LLC because moving in the capacity of a company in another entity is important for convicted felons because some of the things we just technically cannot do for some of the crimes we committed. In jail, they call him rape, robbery, homicide, aka Robino. You know what I mean? So some of the crimes he committed, he can't be certain things. It's impossible. So he needs an external team. For whatever crime, like let's just say he did something with a financial scheme. He can't be a real estate agent. Yeah. He can't be a broker. But if he incorporate himself and
do it
right, he can do certain things. And I just want to tell people, we're not trying to sell information. When you reach out to somebody that you see on this podcast, man, if they trying to sell you some information, man, smack the shit out of them. Because I pride myself on teaching people and telling people all the information I know for free. I said with other ethnicities, other races, other cultures for years that I would never be able to sit across the table from in the real world. Like dudes that wear the yarmulke, drink Coca-Cola all day. I'd be like, yo, is it cool we talk? I give them a little butterfinger, get my pen and pad. How do you do this? When I go in the bank, what do I say about this? Because I was ignorant to it on the street. And he like, well, a lot of times you could do business with the bank over the phone when you say this, and that, and
You learn
make sure
different skills and ways.
And if you got an authorized user, you can get them to do that. You don't even have to be there. They can sign in the capacity of a company. And make sure when you register your companies, you register with Dun & Bradstreet and have an 80 paydex score. And I'm like, all right, cool. Would have never learned that in high school. The shit that they teaching us in school is absolute frivolous
we
information.
We shouldn't even have algebra and geometry. We should have economics and stuff like that.
Right. I remember in Worcester, they was like, oh, we're going to open up a bank account for everybody and put $5 in it. And that was it.
But see, school isn't made to teach you to be a free thinker or to be a business owner. They were producing workers.
Right.
They were,
no doubt.
So,
not to control. When I learned that the school curriculum comes from Texas throughout the nation, I was done.
Yeah.
Then when I looked on the back of the textbook and seen the state of Texas, and I said, damn, every school I ever been in, that always was on the books.
You ever heard of the saying that Texas is its own country?
Right, absolutely.
Like when you go to Texas, you learned how they drive, how they talk, the way they think. You're like, this is their own country.
Right.
Like, and then when you go back into history, you learn about the borders and stuff like that. Like that little small part of Texas near Oklahoma, there was like a law or a line where you could have slaves at.
Wow.
So Texas said, "Oh, we're gonna keep our slaves. Take this land." You know how crazy that is to say, "I'm gonna give you land just so I can keep my free labor." So it's like, you got to learn your history of how, like, and we're seeing it now when it comes, like, for instance, the Super Bowl might be moved to Texas because California has the vaccine law where everything's a go in Texas.
It's a go. Open carry.
So now we're starting to see how they're reverting back to the old ways of running the country, North versus South, with the Democrats versus Republicans and the vaccine versus this. So certain states you go to, like Georgia, Florida, Texas.
Hey, can I ask you a question though, that you touched on the vaccine? As a woman, as a black woman in America, how do you feel about that though? Dumb people, because they just did it in Philly where you have to be vaccinated to come into restaurants and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that wouldn't you rather know that if this dude, the dude you sitting across from the table right now, do you really give a fuck if he vaccinated or not? Wouldn't you rather know if he was convicted of raping children? Shouldn't he have a card if he, you know what I mean? I think that that's more important. That
they rely
on, but you on the internet.
Yeah, but they rely on the fact of you obeying the law. If I told you can't go 25 feet within a school or whatever with kids, that you're going to, obey that law.
Right.
But the reverse of it right now is, all right, my safety, my health.
But that's your safety. If this
exactly, but that's how they feel. They feel like the offender is going to be scared enough not to break that law.
Right.
So that's how they feel. Like that's how they're going to.
But then you got to also understand this though, how they projecting COVID. A person can sneeze and you can catch it and possibly die, bro.
Yeah.
So therefore,
that was a reach.
It's not a reach. This how it's
going paint. That's how they was depicting it. But who controls the media?
Exactly.
It don't matter. I'm saying who. Let's be realistic, right? Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Do I care if this person raped kids or this person can sneeze and it can kill me? A sneeze.
It's the instance
sneeze,
of it.
But you only saying sneeze because of what the media tells you. How many people you know died of COVID?
Personally?
Slide up to the mic. How many people
I don't know nobody personally that died.
Okay,
like
cool. How many people you know died of COVID? Don't think. Hold up. Wait.
No,
you gotta really know.
I'm trying
somebody
to
you
count.
had in your contacts, like you
that you know, not your cousin, friend, aunt, brother.
I'm trying to give you the number in my head. It's not a big number. It's probably 2 or 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know 2, because 2 or 3. That's like 3 in a possible plan.
So we're gonna say 2.
You know 2 people that definitely died of COVID. Okay, that didn't have underlying health ailments and was under the age of 50.
No. I agree with you.
Be transparent. Okay,
this person,
cool.
These people did have. They were not of a certain weight. They had some people had annual asthma and stuff like that, and the older person.
Right.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to explain is, and I know people lost their lives, and I'm not taking nothing from that, right? But we just being real, Slim. I've been around people that I know. Like I'm like, they was like, yo, I tested positive Tuesday. Today Thursday. I'm like, all right, cool. we still got to take care of business. Like this business has to get done. I don't give a fuck. And
like, I feel like you gotta know history. Every 100 years a pandemic hits, it's going to happen, and it's a part of the circle of life. Now, it's going to be cleansing.
But when we talk about what you saying, you definitely need to know that diseases are natural. For every disease, there's a cure.
It's going to mute.
For every virus is man-made. This is a virus. They made this. And so when you saying it's going to come every 100 years, you basically saying the government going to put some shit out to depopularize the people. It's way too many fucking people. That's how I feel. I feel like when I fly over Colorado and Texas and Oklahoma, I feel like they got enough land that it shouldn't be nobody homeless.
Yeah.
The first time I was in LA, I was sad.
Yeah, they saying
There was so many homeless
the statistics
motherfuckers.
show that in every major city, there's enough unused and abandoned homes to house their whole entire homeless population.
Right.
So
Right. I just feel like, why they not dying from COVID? Why people from KNA not? Why the fuck they not? And this is the worst dope site pandemic.
and they not social distancing.
Yeah,
They ain't got
I'm talking about they
masks.
banging, they mainline, like right in the neck in front of, they coughing in each other's face. Why they not dying of COVID? And I'm just being
No,
transparent.
no,
like,
listen,
I'm
I get it.
and they in some of the worst shape of their life. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers 80 pounds, sleeping on sneakers. Like, why the fuck they not dying
Maybe
of COVID?
the curing crack.
And just crackheads. Why the crackheads not dying from COVID? You know what I
Maybe the
mean?
cure isn't.
It
It definitely is. Like, and I feel like too with the vaccine, either it's going to do what it's going to do, or it's not. We can't.
Are
be
you
in-
pro-vax, if you don't mind me asking?
No,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
not pro-vax. At
That's
all.
cool.
But I mean, if
Why
that's
do
your,
people feel so smart when they vaccinated? Is it actually in the vaccine that make them think that they better than other people?
because they're choosing to do something they believe in. So of course, if people,
You can't knock a belief.
yeah, when somebody believes in
But they
something,
believe something that the white media gave them. This is what I be wanting to tell motherfuckers, and this is no disrespect to anybody. When the fuck have they ever did anything for you that benefited you? Think about that. Like, you ever hear that? You ever see that meme when they be like, they gave the slaves the Bible? When have they ever gave you anything that benefited
we
you?
can go on.
Why does this
that's the
make
whole
any
topic
sense?
right there, like
Right.
about the Bible and stuff like that. Because you
Yeah.
having an argument with a black Christian person and they trying to explain that to them,
Oh
they-
my God.
it's hard. And
I just had a conversation,
I was
you
raised
can't
in-
be unequally yoked.
You,
When she see this, she gonna be like, he a piece of shit. You can't be unequally yoked.
but I feel like the same thing with the vaccine. People believe in it, and they believe in the science. They believe in, they don't want us to die or A, B, and C. People, you can't. When
But
somebody,
why would they want them to be here? That's what they don't understand. They don't need you. They don't need you.
we can go
These
down
people are
their
crazy.
rabbit hole of what's needed. I believe in like aliens, human harvesting, motherfuckers here on Earth and everything.
I believe that if they could, if somebody mind, it's something they said on this movie, Saving Silverman, right? And this was some funny shit. My co-defendant, I said this shit. We was ready to go take some money one time. And he was saying something. I said, if you could dream it, you could do it. He said, yo, I used to always think about it, Jay. He was like, yo, that shit was heavy. I said, that was a fucking joke. I seen that on like a white comedy one day watching the TV. He was like, if you can dream it, you can do it.
But in certain instances, that is people's reality.
When I see it on TV, I said, this is real. If somebody can project this and they let it go on television, it has to have some sort of substance to it.
Yeah, or some kind of
Yeah.
like, it's every truth behind every joke, or like some people will be like,
Look at Kiss the Girls, Morgan Freeman, the Alex Cross books,
mhm,
human trafficking.
yeah, and it
You know what I mean? This is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So look at what's going on right now with the white woman with what was the boy name that died that had the island? He was a vicious chomo.
What is his name? It's not Weinstein. Is it not?
Not
it's
Weinstein.
It's not the one.
The boy, you know the boy, the white boy. He had the island and all that. And he was fucking with Trump and all. It's just now that there you go.
Yeah, I know,
Epstein.
someone
Yeah.
Epstein,
Epstein Island. You know.
But this nothing new. This goes
nothing
back to earlier civilizations where they would bring in young girls and young women. They had to be virgins because people with money and wealth fetished. I want something brand new, and once the Jews is gone, it still happens. It's just not nothing new.
Yeah, that's some sick shit.
It's
Still in the innocence of a child or woman. I don't know, man.
it's even like it didn't like.
This
Like I said,
shit,
it's a
man.
rabbit hole. If I
Yeah.
go into what I want to say, but it's just like it's nothing new. It's nothing new.
Yeah, I feel like, man, I just feel like with the PUA, the PP, what's the shit called PUA and PPP? You know, we had people that had, services like they Lash Techs and fucking what else is big in Philly? Microblade, people selling platters. Dudes, what do dudes really do? What are their little side hustles in Philly outside of making clothes and shit like that? I feel like PUA kind of all that shit kind of came to a screeching halt instead of enhancing their business. Now they're back online selling deviled eggs and cheese garlic dips and all that. I don't want that bullshit. Where was you at when I had the money? When I was getting free $800 a month, I would have wiped you down.
I mean, I feel like it go like even when you used to meet boosters back in the day. Remember back in the day, a booster sell you something for half the tag.
We all know to know. Rob, did you know who the Low Lives is?
But the boys from down north?
Yeah, that was thieves and shit like that. They was the Low Lives. That when I hear about boosters, I just always think about the Low Lives.
You should see like somebody come up to you with a shirt for $300. You be like, all right, I'll give you $150. Now they be like, all right, $270. What?
You stole it, asshole.
Right? I'm gonna wait till I go and sell at the store. I'm not even gonna cop from you.
Do people? Is boosters still around?
They are, but it's like the upcharge. Yeah, like the upcharge is.
These jeans I got on.
But even the quality of the stuff in the store in the malls now, like the small in between stores is going now. Like as a female, I used to be able to go to like an R&B or a BB and find a nice dress for $100. Now it's like either I gotta go to Saks and get one for $700 or go to 10 Spot and get one for $10. Like it ain't
got the look.
It ain't no in between. It's like
Fashion Nova.
Yeah, like it's the Fashion Nova is rainbow and it's just
can't knock Fashion Nova.
I'm not knocking them, but the quality of clothes is the stuff that we used to talk about. You and G&G, you and fashion, you and rainbow stuff. You and
Level 10 Mandy, Forever 21.
Exactly, but it's like the quality of it, but you going to still upcharge me $60, $70 for something that's going to be in the store for $10, $15. It's still the same quality. Right. The middleman is going like malls is going to be obsolete in a few. Like,
absolutely, everybody's shopping online.
I think we're just living in that reality of seeing how finances change everything. It won't be no middle class no more.
Yeah, that's what they pushing for. You know, poor, either you got it or you don't. All that. I think that when they eradicated the things, they talk about that a lot, financial literacy, when they deinstitutionalize the high schools, when you don't have to have your license, you don't have to have a trade.
Yeah.
They shut a lot of the factories down. You know, cities like Detroit, Youngstown, Ohio, things like that. All those factory cities, they all shut down because they were factory towns. You know what I mean? You might not be aware of this. At the bottom of our block, you know that lot?
It used to be a factory.
That was a factory. My grandma worked there for 30 years. You know what I mean? Nice barbarian, got a pension and everything from there. She said, before she died, she told me our whole family worked there. We flourished. This is how we had, 2 or 3 houses in the neighborhood paid for because of the factory. And I think that right after that was the crack epidemic. So we took the men from getting a trade. Yeah. They was already on heroin. We're going to smack them with this crack. Now we're going to lock them up in the 90s, right? 2000s, we gave them the thong song. No disrespect.
Shout out to Cisco.
Shout out to Cisco.
What is going on behind this thong song? Like,
it's something in my mind that I can't say on air. You had to be there to understand it.
I had to be there.
What I want to tell y'all is now what they doing with our cultures, because I really can't talk about me or him. We can't talk about the 2010s. When me and him went to prison, it was flip phones. When we came home, it was what's the white boy name? Trump was the president. We went in, George Bush was the president. We came home, Trump. We missed that whole Barack wave. Yeah. So I want to be transparent with everybody. We are never going to speak on. Me personally, I don't think Barack did anything for our people. He did everything for every other ethnicity. I wasn't home to really get into that because look at everything he did for the so-called minority, the gays and things like that. No laws were passed, hypothetically speaking, outside the 18-to-1 crack ratio to affect our people. And that's just for inmates. But I'm talking about what did he really give our people? That's a whole nother thing.
Gave us hope.
And people like to be sold hope. They don't like to be told the truth. This is why people go to churches, to be sold hope.
Hope, yeah.
I'm going all over the place. What was I talking about? What I'm saying is that our culture is being affected now by this shit called drill music, and just what I'm saying is that this shit is killing us right now. If you get on a motherfucking mic, if right now I say I'm gonna shoot my man Rob in the motherfucking head, hit him with the stick, cool, get him signed. Yeah. But if I say something anti-Semitic, something about the LGBTQ, that shit will not be played. You cancel. We hate you. I'm gonna get fired from my job. You know what I mean? Just things like that. And I'm like, y'all don't see the wisdom in that, the hikmah. You know what I mean? This is why they letting you do it. They advocating for y'all to kill each other. And then if you talk about killing them, that's your ass.
But at top of that too is like remember back in the day when music, if you had the voice, you had the mic. You could say something inspiring. You could say something educational. You won't even get signed as a rapper right now if you're a conscious rapper. The studios, you gotta
Talib Kweli, you gotta go
completely independent because they know the biggest influence right now are kill. Yeah, you gotta be a killer. You gotta degrade these women. It gotta be air shaking. It gotta be. It's nothing uplifting. Even I'm not saying that there's no artists out there who are uplifting, but it's so hard for them to get on because the higher ups don't want that to be heard.
But when did positivity ever sells though?
It did at one point. You had a choice. You had an option. You had back in the day. You did have what you call like NWA, and you had Tribe Called Quest. You had an option. It wasn't just like I won't turn on 99 right now because I don't want to hear mumble rap. I go to the old school stuff.
Like, for example, we go study like they say. You got Beyonce and Jay-Z donating money to school in Africa. Click here. Or Beyonce and Jay-Z arguing. Click here.
People like controversy.
Yeah, sex sells, controversy sells.
This shit's going to sell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Nothing positive to
but at least give me the option right now. Even the option of it no more.
It's the option we ain't looking for. We don't want that.
Some people do.
I think that that's in hindsight. That's what I wanted to do with this. I wanted to help somebody. I wanted to help people because I'm like, I know what it's like to have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I tell this story all the time. I know what it's like to be on my knuckles. I know what it's like to have. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to be like, damn.
Coronavirus.
I know what it's like to be like when we was in the halfway house. Like, damn, Taco Grill, the only place that take access cards to get hot food. I got my last $40. I'm about to order a pizza and some fries. So I know what it's like. You know what I mean? And so now that I'm in a position where I can help somebody, I'd be like, damn, let me at least try. And it'd be like,
can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
No,
it's not up with a joke. Go ahead. What?
No, but I hear people say this type of stuff like the struggle and all that. But when they in that struggle, when they in that moment, they would never talk about this type of stuff.
Oh, tell somebody that I use my excess card to buy hot food?
When you was in that moment,
let you get hot food too. I'm telling like a motherfucker.
When you was in that moment, right?
Right.
I'm pretty sure you was cracking on females, doing all that. You ain't
I
say,
was horny as shit.
But you ain't say
10 years.
But you ain't say
Tick
like
was jumping like a fish out of
You wasn't
water.
transparent. Like, yo, listen, I'm literally on my fucking knuckles. I ain't got nothing to eat.
No,
but the ones you were closest to, they know.
He's so far removed from that. He can talk about it. That's not.
Yeah,
so
I mean, not.
far,
I'm so far removed from it now. But the people that knew me,
but it just be shocking how when people talk about the struggle, like they a million miles away from that shit.
It's easy
but
to talk
that's why I'm
about
telling you,
the
gratefulness and humbleness to me because I know I could lose it all in a blink of an eye. You know what I mean? Just being realistic.
This is not backing. If a motherfucker go broke now after you in a certain position, you just a dickhead.
I mean,
you must have did
what you was talking about. You must have raped a little girl. You did some shit.
No, what I'm saying is that from a standpoint, if you truly believe in a higher power, homie, the same way Allah put these things in my life, He could take it from me. If He said they walking, your business ain't doing nothing, your job, you're fired, you're going back to jail. It's over.
But that was the premise of our conversation tonight. Some people were put in a position to have a better life, and they are completely broke. So like. People had $20,000 in their account January of 2021.
Yeah.
January 2022, they
didn't work for that or earn
it. It definitely makes a difference if you work for your check or not.
You're gonna
respect it more. Yeah, you definitely going to spend it differently. But like I
feel as though anybody that gets rich in this day and age, they won't go broke. This is not like when Hammer got rich and went broke. That was back then. If you happen to make it now, it's impossible to go broke now.
Can't say that.
No. If you got bad credit, it's because you want to have bad credit. Go on Instagram. So many credit repairs.
Nah, you know why? But just like you said, because he look at money a little different than a lot of other
Everything
people.
Is there.
Right. Money is high on your priority list and how you respect it and how you nurture it, how you care for it. Like I said, I was in a situation where somebody disrespected money because they was used to it. Like this was this motherfucker's craft for so many years. He was used to making $100,000 a year was nothing. He did this and he fucked it up every single time.
He made it in a social media era?
Yeah.
And he went broke?
He's broke now.
Oh, that's bad. That's, I don't know.
Tell him, listen, I don't know who this guy is, man. You had somebody that was decent, and that when the thong song come on, I think about it.
What he did was...
They hiring on Old York Road by Huntington Park. You slide right down on Walgreens
when
Wall.
He had that money, right, he must have made solid relationships and things like that. He must have just said, fuck everybody.
He was
a creep.
A goof.
Because when you making when you got the type of relationships, people won't let you go broke. It's impossible.
Listen, and he had people in his ear that was trying to help and save multiple times, and it's just like some people just fuck ups. So you said it's impossible. I've witnessed it, and in my head, I'm thinking this cannot possibly happen. Nobody could do this, and I witnessed it. Like I said, that when you say you can't cheat, that was the worst. the financial cheat was worse than the infidelity cheat, because I just seen you cheat our life. You cheated our plan. You fucked up money. Like, we had goals. Like, so it is possible for people to fuck up finances and fuck their life up. There's no saving.
I'm just saying, without drugs, without committing an egregious crime, you just like squander it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard to
it
believe
happens.
it.
People look at people with gambling problems. Bro, you see me take a hit in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
then
look,
had to stay the next day.
that's
You was out
that's
there.
something crazy. That's
I
an
wasn't
addiction. That's
faking.
like drugs.
I got hit out there.
Oh,
I was hurt.
look
I
what I
lost more
said,
than
though.
everybody.
Look what I
And
said,
ate humble
though.
pie.
Look what I said. It's like somebody on drugs. That's an addiction.
Yeah, it is an
That's
addiction.
still an addiction.
That was like a spare of the moment thing. It was no way I should have been on a plane with all that money.
You should have never took it. Yeah,
Because it was the deal was, I'm gonna go out here.
just
you know, I
support the
had
fight.
Close to a dub on me. I said I'm gonna put it on boots.
Mm-hmm.
The way the wave happened, getting ready and stuff like that. I'm
couldn't-
like,
yeah.
so I'm like, cool. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just take a dime out the room with me just in case. And I'm like, he won so fast. I was like, yeah, fucking right. And
Everybody
I knew,
was in the moment.
everybody, man, we just seen you on Showtime. I'm like, for real? Yeah, that was me. I was so in the moment. Before I know it, I was at the crap table. And I'm like, damn, I'm losing $7,500.
It's the reason Vegas is made that way for a reason. Vegas is the monster. It's the reason why you get
Yeah.
off the plane. The slot machines is right there.
Yeah,
it's like a
that shit
legal
was
amount of
ignorant.
feet that they can have it coming off the plane.
that shit was
Vegas
ignorant.
is set up to take your money.
That shit was ignorant.
No
I
matter-
was super
No matter
humble.
no matter if it's gambling, whether it's shopping, what it's
And I
Vegas
had
is
to
set up.
stay the next day. I didn't have no more cash. I didn't want to go to the Mac because I'm just like, I felt so stupid. I'm like, I'm too financially smart to have made that decision.
It's Vegas. It was in the moment we was all happy. Everybody was like drunk.
You know, I talked to my old head from back Wayne Ave. I don't want to say his name on the air. And I just was saying things to him, you know, a lot of other people. I blamed them. That was the only thing to me because I said, we had no plans.
Nobody did.
When the fight was over, we was standing there for like an hour and a half.
Everybody-
Like,
I literally was having this conversation with somebody the other day. I was like,
I'm like-
it was
and it was
so
like
good.
50 of
It was
us.
yeah. I literally,
I'm
this was
like,
my
what the
exact
fuck is
words. I
going
was like,
on?
it was
Why
so
is there
many
no
of us,
plans?
and we just had fun,
No
just going up
itinerary.
to like regular lounges and bars. We
Yeah.
didn't have like a section nowhere. Oh no! I think the reason about not having a section was we're not blowing our money in
I
no
stayed
section.
in the fucking hotel that the
Yeah.
fight was at. Where was that?
But-
The Mandalay Bay? I
Yeah.
stayed there. I'm like,
But that
people
was
don't
the-
even know I'm here. It
That
just
was the
weird.
whole thing. Nobody had plans because nobody was trying to like spend money frivolously. It wasn't no point of getting a section at Dre's for $20,000. It was like, we too grown for that dumb stuff. Let's go somewhere cool.
That club
but-
changed my life
but-
when I went there in 19. The best nightclub
It
ever.
is one of the best nightclubs.
Pool. That shit
But I
was
feel like not having a
crazy.
plan was what fucked everybody. Everybody fucked up some kind of money, some kind of way. Because I think
Yeah.
the next day we went and got edibles, and I ended up at the mall shopping,
ignorant.
and I
right?
was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing none of this.
when we went, when everybody from up Germantown, when we all went, like dudes from the west side, Haines Street, I think I might have been the only one from literally back the yard that went. When we went down H-Town, that was organic. That was love.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought the Vegas experience was going to be like that when it was all with us. No. So when we was there for that 90 minutes and nobody was doing it, I'm like, it's too many heavy niggas here right now, all in the same room for us to be standing here like a bum on a dick. So when I walked to the crab table, I'm like, man, fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
I got my own cheese. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm me. And I was losing so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
see what I'm
Vegas.
saying? So I'm like, yo, that
And
jump.
the trick to Vegas is nobody wins in New Vegas. You want to really gamble when you got to go to old Vegas and bet.
Right.
I've learned that with Vegas enough to know. I think I go to Vegas like 4 times a year.
Yeah,
By
I think I
mistake.
laid in the bed. It was nighttime, and I blinked like 3 times when it was daytime. I'm like, yo, I gotta hurry up and get home. I was starting to get sick to my stomach. I ain't had no appetite, and I was like, this one gonna hurt. Lick my wounds for this one. This one gonna hurt.
Yeah, it was
know what I mean?
craziness. But there we go with financial planning and the reason and knowing.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
live and you learn.
Yeah, no doubt. That was definitely a learning experience. And then I just was like, all the shit I talk about the PUA people blowing their money. I just blew all their PUA shit in like 30 minutes at the crab table. I'm like,
Listen, I literally got off the plane, went straight to the fight. And I was like, all right, but I ain't got to do A, B, and C. I got like a cheap behind renting car. Then my friend sent me some money. Like, I know you in Vegas, but only use it if you need it. And I was like, all right. So I was sitting on something that somebody gave me. And when them edibles got in me and I got next to
was
the
over
mall, I was like, there we go. It's going. Like,
yeah, they had
that
moved that.
fast.
They moved that sneaker store that I went to in 19 out there. Ain't not for nothing. Just before we close, when you go somewhere with somebody and then go like how we went, the vibe is different. I
Yeah.
went with somebody, just me and her, and I didn't want to leave Vegas. When I was there at the Boots fight, I wanted to go home every day.
You
I'm
lost
like,
that money.
yeah. I was like, I want to go home. I ain't want to kick it.
That's another conversation I had the other night with people from Brickyard. I was like, exposed to certain lifestyles and certain partying with certain people that I'm like, that was cool. I've been to some of the nicest places, but it depends on who you with. I'd rather do regular shit with my crew before.
No doubt.
Oh, I was in this place with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or I was doing A, B, and C. I
doubt.
mean, it's certain shit was fun. I would never take back. But it's like when you with your folks, when you with your people and your crew, we can just go on a roller coaster at Donny Park, and I'm like, this is the best fun in my life.
Right, no doubt.
You know,
I miss the unity.
Yeah.
I miss that, and I'll be like, damn, is that ever gonna come back? Like, is one day somebody gonna be like, yo, we throwing a fucking Donny Park trip. You know what I mean? Everybody, come on, let's go. This and that. This shit just wild. Everybody, we getting on the TV.
So many people to diss stuff to so many people. They gonna ask the question. You gotta vet
who
it
coming?
Yeah,
That's
who
there.
coming? Who all there?
I'm gonna go, but who coming?
Exactly.
Right.
Everything is vetted now.
That's what I hate about
our
our neighborhood right now. Like even with the females, it be like, cause I get along with everybody. I don't have no beef with this person.
Used to have so many.
But it's like
how do you say
if
this word and not be disrespectful? How do you say bitches and not just be disrespectful? But we had all the we had a lot of bitches
But like,
back our way.
some people don't get along. So like, let's just say a situation was supposed to happen, and I wanted to be like, let's all celebrate this union. I want to invite all of y'all. I couldn't invite half these females because y'all still carry beefs from 13, 14, 15. We damn
Over
near
nothing.
40 in.
So
it's like
over a
Yeah,
nigga
but
with a tweezer pleaser.
was so crazy, but then
or over a girl.
then when
they
social
shit with a
media
weave
came,
or wig.
it made it worse.
it made it worse because
Yep.
now it probably was over with. Then I'm seeing you want to join. Look at this.
Yeah.
and
nut.
ostracized it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at this bitch. They won't block each other. They still be on the
Ain't that
joint. You know what I'm
crazy?
saying?
People that don't like you follow you.
Or,
the
like
worst.
they said, you not beefing with nobody, but they might DM you. I seen you with so and so. You out of pocket.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, I'm not inheriting nobody's enemy. Like
Yeah,
you
I
don't,
ain't inheriting
because you
no
know,
beef.
I did that one time. I stopped being a girl's friend because they wasn't speaking, and then life happens. 5 years later, y'all become friends. Now I'm the stupid one looking like, damn, I still don't like her because I ain't like her for you. But they buddy again. I don't inherit nobody's beef. Like I'm not doing it.
I became comfortable with knowing, like, man, just some people not gonna like me. I ain't for everybody. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with just knowing, like, man, some people gonna be like, yo, yeah, you tall, you might be fine, but like, then I don't like you, nigga. And I'm all right with that.
Yes.
I had to just accept that, like, all right, cool, I ain't decent to you. And people in this day and age, they just can't fathom that a motherfucker can't have the liberty to just not like you.
It took a lot for me to learn the same way too. Cause I'm like, I'm so nice to everybody I get along with. Certain females just not going to like how that girl look at you or how that guy treats you, or you like. I can't help that he loved me this way and he ain't love you that way, or he tricked out on me and he ain't do that for you. That's not my problem. So now you don't.
Me, what did you just? He tricked out on you.
Tricked out on you. Heard
I've
that.
never heard that term.
He tricked out on
She is teaching.
No, because
so
some certain
much.
girls will be like, I'm gonna talk to him because he did that for her. No, he did that for her because he liked her.
Right,
He might not do that for you,
right, and you might don't.
and vice versa.
Fuck
He might
the
not
way
do
she
that for
fuck
me.
And suck the way she suck.
And sometimes it don't have to be that way. Some people just fuck with somebody a long way. He
they
might not have
character.
done diddly squat for me, but then get with the next girl and do everything in the world for her. So it's
Right, no doubt.
That
you
ever
just-
happened to you before?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
And from the outside looking in, how did you feel?
I wasn't her for him.
Huh?
I wasn't her for him. Like I didn't bring that out of him.
Right,
Like,
I
damn.
said that. Every
Yeah.
chick
Like,
bring out
yeah.
something different than a nigga,
Yeah.
and vice
Where the
versa.
fuck he get this money from? He tricking out now. This nigga
I mean,
tricking
no,
out.
you knew the money
This
was
is
there,
trick
but
ball.
some people just don't want to act that way for certain people. And sometimes I think like about the money, like, oh, he holding her hand. He never hold my hand. So it's like,
But do you ever, if you ever see that person, like I'm saying, like in general, and y'all might still be cool, you know, like ask, like, damn, man, like how come my hand didn't call for that? Like you ain't trick out on me, like
they
I
can't answer it.
do you ask them
Oh,
that?
hell yeah. Yeah, like, what the fuck? What's up? And he turned around at me. Well, you did this for that person. I'm like, true that. But that comes with the real conversation and growth at the time. In the moment, you can't have that. You can't say it, but it'll happen eventually. But like, yeah.
Right, no doubt. Before we close this shit up, man, I just want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all for coming out, man. We did this thing on the last minute tip, and we want to wrap this joint up, man. I appreciate Steph for coming out, my man Rob. Looking forward to seeing y'all again because we definitely had a good vibe, man. And
More
that's it.
topics to hit. And
Yeah,
I
no
said,
doubt.
that rabbit hole. I was like, I can't touch on it because that's what the topic.
Yeah, we gonna go. We gonna blow, man. This shit.
Next time you come, bring some females who got tricked out on.
Yeah, and that's the
Bring
thing.
some females.
You know the kind of vibe. You kind of know. You can see the way we think and the way we operate, and nobody's trying to be disrespectful to nobody. But for like minds to think of like moving forward, definitely if you got people that think like you or move like you, regardless if they, hoes, moles, or gigolos, black, white, or candy stripe, fat, ugly, whatever the case may be, if they could talk, hold a conversation, they welcome.
Yeah, I just feel like my squad be too afraid to be like they feel like it's exposed now. I'm an open book.
Well, then tell them to DM you or DM me the questions and answers.
I put the mask on. I want to hear the story.
Yeah, put the mask on. We want to hear.
Listen, I got a whole book coming out full of the stories.
You do?
Yeah, I got a
No,
book
seriously.
No, seriously.
It's called Tricked Out.
Oh my God.
Why do you think I'm getting tricked out?
I never heard that fucking word in my life. I'm tricked out. Yeah.